Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of You Inspired Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have a very special guest. He's served in the British Army, Royal Gurkha Army for 15 years, and he was medically discharged in 2010 because of an explosion in Afghanistan where he lost both of his legs below knees. But that didn't stop him. He actually overcame his disability, his circumstances, and he rose above it. And he went on to do some crazy, amazing things like skiing, skydiving, wheelchair rugby, all sort of sports. He did biathlon, and he also cycled 100 kilometers from Colchester to London, which is amazing. And he will be soon be attempting to climb Mt.Everest. He will be the first bilateral amputee to do that, and when he succeeds, he will be not only setting a new world record, but he will be making a history. He's an amazing human being, a warrior. He's fighting for his family, his community, for his fellow men with whom he's served in the army. He's fighting for people, with disability all over the world. It's an absolute pleasure to have him on our show. He's none other than Budha Magar. Dai, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bhai. Thank you.
Thank you. How'd you like the introduction? Did you like that?
Maybe not that much.
Maybe.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. And what about the set, the studio? Do you like our house? Yeah.
It's amazing.
By the way, guys, we're actually in Hari Dai's house, which is amazing. I especially love the garden outside. And I think it was built and designed by someone. Like, who was it built by?
It was by Alan Titchmarsh through a Love You Garden. It was featured in ITV.
ITV, yeah, I saw that. I saw that on the television. I was like, wow, it's really nice. I would love to. This was my goal, not goal. This was something I wanted to do. I was like, one day I would love to visit Hari Dai's, in his house and look around and maybe have a look at the garden as well. And today my dream came true, so thank you so much for inviting. Actually, we invited ourselves.
No problem, you came slightly late after 3 years, but yeah, you're welcome.
It's never too late. So tell us, how are you feeling right now? And how's the preparation coming along for your attempt to climb?
So preparation-wise, I'm training for the last nearly 4 years. So I'm ready, everything ready. I feel very confident. I tested myself for many mountains, and many peaks, and many passes. So yes, I'm ready. But the problem you have is, life never goes like that. One smooth way, it goes like up and down, and unfortunately, my life is from this childhood. It's a bit of a roller coaster. So yes, it is. But I have never given in my life, and I can't give up. And one day I will climb and achieve my dream.
That's great. And there are a lot of people who know about you. They know about Budha Magar. They know about your mission, your project. But there are also a lot of people who don't know about you, and they're not aware of your project that you're about to do. Tell us, where are you from in Nepal? Whereabouts in Nepal are you from?
I'm from western part of Nepal. It's a Rolpa district. I was born in Mirul. I was born in a cow shed, just below the Jalzala, which is Jalzala is a tallest peak in Rolpa. I went to barefoot to school.
Yeah, I heard about that. You walked, I read that you used to walk 45 minutes barefoot to go to the school.
Yes, it is. That's true. And we didn't have any pen and paper, so we used to learn how to write on wooden plank. We didn't have any commercial chalk, so we used like chalk stone to right how to learn, but also you use that plank for different purposes as well. so yeah, life was a bit of a roller coaster, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Where you're from, what your background is, or what is your family background. It doesn't really matter. Once you've grown up, it's us to what kind of life we want to live. What the difference you want to make. It's just us, and everything is on our hand. And I hate now that blaming someone and complaining something that you don't control. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where you're from. But I think it's one thing after my injury was make sure I was able to recognize myself. That is very, very important for me. And if I forgot where I'm from, I know how I was, then I'm no more Hari Budha Magar. So after my injury, I was able to recognize myself who I am.
We'll talk about your injury and the process that you went through later on. Just wanted to get to know more about you as a young person, like as a young person at your teenage. What were you like? What's the like? Were you like them badmas, them naughty kid? Were you adventurous? What kind of person were you when you were young?
I think I was a bit quiet. Bit quiet, very shy, not able to expose myself, and didn't have confidence. So, I was much more about a follower than a leader.
Yeah.
So that's how I was. And even until I joined, I didn't have much confidence. And later I gained the confidence and to move my life and to control my life. But initially, I wasn't. I think I wasn't that much nutty. I was quite disciplined. Disciplined. Even you don't discipline, your parents will discipline you.
Yeah. True. You get a lot of beating.
Yeah. So, I think I was a very disciplined child.
You say you were shy and not confident. Which is very different from what you're doing right now, because you are out there in social media. You're a speaker. You go to different places and speak in front of big crowds, which takes a lot of courage, confidence, and that shows what you've been through over the years to become so courageous, confident as a person compared to when you were shy, not confident. So it must have been a very tough journey for you, but the fact that you're here means that you've overcame all those obstacles and challenges, right?
Yeah, I think when you say, confidence, the confidence doesn't come with let's say, with the magic wand, and you got a power and rule. It doesn't come, and it's a very little things is very important in the life. So just working hard, just completing your task, one task, it's very little. So when I was injured, my aim was to, get on the wheelchair, and I felt, I can do it. I could go to toilet myself. It's a very brush my teeth myself. Yeah. So it's a very little things, and from my little child also, it's the same thing that.
Were you disciplined ever since you were young?
I was above average discipline. I think I wasn't completely perfect for discipline, but I think, and I think it's more about small steps. That is one little steps helps us to gain the confidence. Even when I was in the military, I couldn't, I wasn't confident enough to, I never thought that I would get a promotion in army. But the first thing was how to join the army, right? And second thing was, how are you going to promote? But I never thought that I was going to promote. But I keep working hard, I kept working hard, and after I get one promotion, then it gave me confidence. Then another one, that's how it went.
When did you join army?
I joined in 1999 at the age of 19.
19, yeah. Quite a young age. And why did you want to join the army?
That's another, good question. So initially, it's my dad's dream. So my great granddad was just one, and my granddad and my dad, they were just one son. And at that time, it was so important. Then how important it was to be a son. And my dad actually went to India to join the army, but my granddad went and brought him back because it was like, you're going to die. So my dad always says, so we are three brothers. I'm the oldest one, and he always used to say, I want one of my son to join the army. And he used to tell me, you're not able to join the British Army. It's too tough. Try Indian Army. If not, then Nepalese Army also fine. And he used to say to me. So, as a lots of Nepalese youngster in Nepal, we follow our parents' dream. Actually, our dream. So that's how one thing. That's one thing. Another thing is, you need to see to believe it. And some of my schoolmates who joined the army, so I just follow them and I just joined the British Army.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people don't know that, in some of our culture, it's pretty much the only option we got. Because your grandfather is an army, your father is army, so naturally everyone expects you to become an army. So it's like
or some other parents who say you must be a doctor or engineer.
Oh yeah, just like that. Interesting. But I'm sure you've learned a lot when you went to the army, right? Did you learn a lot? What sort of lessons did you learn?
Yeah, it's completely different world. Growing up in Rolpa, it's one of the very remote part of our country at the time, and I never rode a plane. I never was in plane, and came back here. Came to the UK, and it's completely different planet than what was in Rolpa. The way you eat, even the way you go to the toilet, right? So all the system is completely different, and initially I found it quite hard to adapt to new culture, but in the military, if you don't adapt, if you don't listen, if you don't do it, then you'll get punished. Not just you, but your friends will get also punished. So I learned that way. But I think I learned so much things through the military, and if I wasn't in the military, then definitely I wouldn't be here.
Do you think the person you are now, do you think military helped you become that person? Like the things like you talk about discipline, working hard, doing one thing at a time, those things. Did you learn that in the army?
Yes. But I think from even little childhood as well, just, like say in Nepal, if you fail, you're stuck in one classroom. You're never going to go to another class. That also, those are the things that also, but also in the military, yes, like those disciplines, the hard work, you have to work whole night, for a couple of days with a lots of, you can't talk, you can't put the light on, there's so much things that I think made me, more resilient. I definitely did it. It's a lots of things that I learned from military, I think, which helps me to move forward in my life.
Yeah, true. Tell us about your injury. How you had an injury in 2010. Can you talk us through what happened and what led you to losing your legs?
We went there for 6 months, and after 6 months, try to keep safe ourselves and come back. That's what is the plan. And on the day when I was injured, there was a mission that you have to accomplish. So we had two missions. One thing is we are just very new there and just familiarized with the area, with the one thing. Another thing was we had two engineers. So local people's well was damaged, and that's how they drink water from there.
Yeah.
So we went and surveyed that well, and our job was to give a protection to those engineers. That's worth it. So we were on the way, and just I was it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's very warm, and I was 10th person in the line, so we were all in single file. We were 20 people, and suddenly went bang, and my right ear started ringing, and my life changed.
What was going through when you at that moment where there's this explosion and did you lose consciousness for a few seconds, by the way?
I think I didn't.
You didn't lose consciousness.
So the first thing I noticed was my right ear was ringing.
Yeah.
And there was dust everywhere, and people were kind of shouting. Our teams. So they were calling, man down. Man down is, somebody hurt. So everybody knows in the team. So it's a shout. So and.
Did you notice immediately that your leg was gone?
Yeah. So I looked down to right leg, and it wasn't there. Just immediately. It was my left leg was there, but it was really badly injured. My combat dress was like fully blooded, and also it was like a bone and skins. It wasn't in the right place. My left leg. It was injured. I injured my right arm, so I couldn't able to move my right arm. So painful, and I used my left leg, and I had a tourniquet on that side. So we have a standing order procedure. So everyone's put their first aid in that pocket.
Yeah.
Your ammunition is in one of the pocket, right? So this is how we carry. So let's say your stretcher is always on the top of your back, something like that. That's how we carry the thing. So couldn't able to reach that side. But the first thing, it wasn't really painful initially. It just kind of, I thought that like say when you kill the animals, it comes like a blood comes like a really. It really didn't come that way. So it's like that when you got a vein and it just drips slightly, then it flows. That's how it happened to my legs. So it initially just kind of blood just kind of slowly comes out, and then it flows faster and bigger. So that's how I saw it. Initially, it wasn't painful. I thought it's like you got pinched.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. And later, once the blood started flowing, then it was more painful. I just couldn't, and my mouth and throat started getting dry. And one of my friend was at the back, and he gave me the water, and I was keep sucking. This camel bag. So. I was very thirsty. Later, it was painful.
What was going through in your head, emotionally and mentally? Because did you think oh my, am I gonna die? Did you have that feeling, or do you think actually I'm safe, I'm fine, or did you feel that you're going to die? And what sort of emotions or mental thoughts what's going through your head?
Initially, it was like we train everything, so is everyone safe? Am I just get injured, or any other guys also injured? And also, I thought about we call all the time about safety. So, is someone firing? If someone's firing, you have to fire back, even if you are injured or whatever it is. So that also, is there any firing coming on? And that's what I feel. And is other people safe or not? So that's the first thing. Then I thought about, I exactly knew that who's gonna come and rescue me, who's gonna do what, because that's how we train. We practice before we actually go to deploy to the ground. So I exactly knew that the first thing in my mind more about was about the guys that I went with. So in our multiple, I was second in command, and all the guys was very young, and I was the most senior, yeah, most senior Gurkha in our multiple, and we had a platoon commander. He was quite new, who came, and whatever happens, then everybody used to look at my face and what he's gonna say. That's how it like I was kind of their kind of father figure to make a decision and guide my platoon commander, to make a decision on whatever we make a decision on the ground, because if you make one wrong decision, everybody will die there. Yeah. So first thing I was thinking about those boys first. Then secondly, I thought about my family. That really hurts me, especially like so when our Nepalese, especially Nepalese parents, when their children goes away, and we bless them that however you went, come back that way. And we actually used to joke, when with our friends quite a lot about that, So, but I thought that I couldn't able to go as I came out, and that really really hurt me. I couldn't be the same for my family. What they're gonna do. How am I gonna give them food? Then I think that's the main thing that it was about. Whatever. Then I think lastly, I thought about, am I gonna survive? Am I gonna keep safe? Am I gonna die here, or will I ever see my family again? That was quite hard. But when this whole things are going through, I had that heli inbound in 10 minutes. So
did anyone like die on that explosion?
No. Even I was the only one who I was injured. So I simply I think I stepped on the pressure plate. So something is stepped on and blood.
So you were walking.
Yes. I think I was very unlucky guy that ninth person crossed the same route, and I was the 10th person to explode it. But
but in hindsight, it may have been a blessing in disguise. In a way, you can always look at it in a different perspective, right?
Yeah, and I was very happy that when I read this news about Taliban and US signed a peace deal. Oh. So one day, to be honest, if I get a chance, I'll go back and see that place. Maybe just thanking Taliban that what they have done to me.
That's nice. I can't imagine the pain and suffering that you went through during those phases. And I heard like you went through the post-traumatic stress as well. Tell us about those phases, and how did you deal with after effect of that when you came back here, and then all of a sudden it's not the same anymore.
Yeah, it was very difficult. So it was like 4 weeks you spend in a rehabilitation center. So where lots of guys, and you get along and try to be fit, and try to put the legs on, and those other things like that. Try to learn walk, try to learn swim. It's very simple things but when you come, then after that you discharge from hospital and stay at home for 4 weeks, and that time it was really really hard, because all your friends are in Afghanistan. Even though some of your friends are here, it's so much things. I didn't have legs initially, so I was on wheelchair. So, people don't invite you at their home on a wheelchair, and because I think, and also you can't go as well some way. So a couple of places that the places that you want to go, and you don't go. Even you want to go, you don't know how to go because you are just getting used to it, right? I'm just trying to use my wheelchair. I remember that I was a bit fast when my married quarters up there, and catched a curb and fell over, and a couple of other families came and held me up and put on my wheelchair. But the problem was they used both my arms, so the way I balance is I move around is with my arms, right? And once they hold my arms, then I couldn't able to move myself. so it was, and that was really, and that point I was kind of trying to cope everything, and mainly I coped maybe some not nice way, maybe more about kind of drinking,
alcohol.
Drinking alcohol. That's why I controlled pretty much my pain and emotions, and which wasn't very helpful later on the stage. Then I was at a rehabilitation center about 3 years, and initially, I was grown up, beaten by my parents, so I'm strong, right? I went so much stuff in my life. I was in military. I'm, military man can't be, weak. That's how. So I always kind of have that kind of stigma that I'm really, really strong. But when I was coming out of army, getting discharged, kind of realized that there's something wrong. Maybe not right. So my brain started getting more foggy. I couldn't able to concentrate on some of the things that I wanted to do, and I was getting very angry very quickly, and my memory went worse and worse and worse. So I think this is something wrong, and now how could I able to improve these things. And I was start speaking to some of my friends and colleagues, and one of my friends, he was a firefighter, and he said to me, we were doing some couple of charity work, so we went to Cumbria to do some works about the flooding. After the flooding went, so we were just rescuing, tidying up the things in Cumbria. And at the time, he kind of told me that maybe you might need to help, and that's how I went. I didn't call it. Somebody actually called combat stress, and I went combat stress. So I had 6 weeks. And that was a bit of opening up my mind, so how to manage my mental well-being
and your emotional well-being.
My emotions. And I didn't know anything about psychology, so a little bit learn about psychology. It's about control. It's about controlling your just like being mindful. Learning about mindfulness. How to control. Just avoiding some of the situation that. So it's making worse the situation, and just and simple. There's so many things that let's say if you're getting angry, how to control your
anger,
and those kind of things. So it was very, very helpful. But also, I kind of introduced to the yoga, yoga and meditation, and I think that was very, very useful. And that's even you feel that you are the strongest person in the world and you're most toughest person. The mental health, the mental stigma, which is very hard to cope. And somehow I went there and accepted myself. There's nothing wrong with talking about your mental well-being. Then after that,
that's good.
It was all about just coming out, just talking about. So later on, I spoke about this with even combat stress quite a lot, and sharing these things. And at the end is you have to accept who you are.
Yeah.
You know, that's really recognize yourself. Once you know that, then you can move on to the next step. But if we don't accept ourselves, we have got like an illusion that we are very strong, or we have the illusion that something that we are something else. Then we get confused and we can't go move forward.
Yeah, interesting. You know, like, you know, you've gone through a lot doing what you said earlier, and there are a lot of people who go through what you've gone through, but they're never the same person because they aren't able to fully recover, maybe physically, but not mentally and emotionally. So that I'm really fascinated by all the things you've done and accomplished since your injury. For example, you took up extreme sports, you know, like skydiving and skiing and all that. Why extreme sports?
I didn't know that I was going to do that initially. So first thing was I was a bit of, you know, suicidal mode. You know, before I took any sport. So first thing I did was skydiving. So you know, I wasn't in. I haven't you know done any parachute or something jumping from the sky. I didn't do when I was in the army. So one thing is I want to experience that. The second thing was, you know, if I die, that's in the story. You know, that's fully done. So that's kind of how my thinking it was. And I went to skydiving and went to the 15,000 feet and, you know, jumped down. And when I landed on the floor, I felt that, yeah, you don't have legs, still you can do the things. And you get some excitement and a bit of fear and things like that.
Adrenaline rush as well, right?
Yeah. So once you've done that, I felt a little bit of accomplishment and something that I did it. Yeah. Then after that, I thought that maybe I could do some other things as well. So my aim was to what can I do physically after losing my both legs, and pretty much tried pretty much all the sports. And I did kayaking. So I kayaked. I learned from initial kayak in Germany and Austria. So I went 2 weeks and kayaked and some of the rivers, and I felt, you know, I was one of the, you know, best students in there. Once I got into the boat and just put your legs and just tidy up, just put yourself and just adapt again to, then I'm no different than other people
because you don't use your legs in the kayak, right?
Yeah, so I'm no different than other people. Then also later I went to skiing again in Germany and Austria again. So I went skiing. Then when I went, you know, in 2000 I skied with both legs standing, and I learned how to ski later in 2000. I think it's 11. I skied on a one ski on a chair with the riggers. They called it riggers. But you know, I still could able to go as fast as I could go. You know, I could have a same fun as like everybody, but also I also you know, could able to go that other people go. So in a ski there are different routes. So from blue, green, red, black. You know, black is the highest one, and I could go all those routes. Not only that, but I could go actually off route as well. You know, off the route that not listed. So when I feel that, you know, it's just you could do. It's just different way of doing the things. Then when I used to skiing, I used to see the mountains, and it's all about, you know, you know, I grew up, you know, looking the mountains, and we used to read the story of it, you know, Tenzing Norgay and Sir Edmund Hillary, and you know, I was really fascinated by that. And what about me climbing? And even when I was in the army, I was thinking, how could I able to do it? But I was more focused on training,
Yeah.
career, and operations. So couldn't able to do that, and I lost my legs. But I was just figuring out, how am I gonna go up? What angle could I go? And those I had just so many things was playing around, and I went to test myself, and I could able to climb, and that's where I am. And then it's more and more climbing and more climbing, and that's mountainside. But other things like I tried golf, so I represented GB team last year in New York, and some other sports like you call it pretty much like archery, table tennis.
Yeah, I heard you got gold medal in
Tennis.
archery and bronze medal in table tennis. Where was that?
It was in Endeavor Games in Oklahoma.
Endeavor. Is it quite big?
It is not. It's like a pretty much all the disabled people in America, and some other European countries go and compete.
And when was that?
Compete. It was I don't know, maybe 2012 or 13.
Yeah.
I think.
And then I read you did biathlon.
Yeah, biathlon.
How long is biathlon?
So
What's the distance?
biathlon is a couple of kilometers.
Okay.
So normally biathlon is like it's a cross country skiing. So you ski down and you ski up as well.
Oh,
You
it's
ski
not
and down.
running, but
Yeah.
it's
No.
okay.
Biathlon is like you ski
Yeah.
and also shooting as well. So
Oh.
you ski and shoot. Shooting. So that's what I did. It was in Whistler in Canada, where the 2010 Winter Olympic was held.
And I read you are a big cyclist as well. You cycled from Colchester to London, and you participated in other events as well. Have you always been a cyclist, or was that after the injury?
So even I couldn't able to ride a cycle
Yeah.
until I joined the British Army. I actually learned after I joined the Army. And yes, that was the Colchester to London was my first ride. It was a hero ride with all Hell for Heroes that we did. Then I went to America, so I did a Wallace ride, I did a Independence ride. So about 3 different rides I did in America.
And you use a different kind of cycle, I guess?
Yes, so I can use bicycles, so it's called tricycles. So one wheel at the front and two wheel at the back, and you propel with
With your hands?
with your
Not
hands.
yeah.
With your hands. It's
And
harder than by
yeah.
legs, but
Imagine 100 kilometers doing that. Must have been pretty tough.
it's tough. But what is easy
Is
in the
it
life?
like that, or is it like
No,
both
it's
at the
like
same
this.
time? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this one same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep going.
It's sort of like rafting, isn't it? Or
Not really.
canoeing. Yeah. But the movement that you do.
Yeah. It's just like it's more about it's kayaking, but kayaking is one hand at a moment. But
Yeah.
you just do like this.
Yeah.
So it's hard, especially going uphill is hard. Going down is easy, but going uphill is very, very hard.
Yeah, cool. So what made you want to climb or attempt Mount Everest, and why?
It simply is my childhood dream. I grew up in Nepal, looking the mountains,
Yeah.
seeing the mountains, and we Nepalese are very proud as well that Mount Everest is in Nepal. It's the highest peak in the world, and it's in Nepal. So we're very proud of that. And I always wanted to climb. Couldn't climb when I was in service, but after even losing my both legs,
I think we got a guest coming.
I don't know.
So I know that you've done a lot of training for this expedition, and you climb a lot of mountains, as you said before. Recently, you did Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
Yeah. That
Yes.
was recently. How many other mountains have you done so far?
So far, mainly I have done four main mountains. So first one I did was Merapik, which is 6,476 meters, which is I hold a world record for that. Chulu Forest, which is 6,058 meters. Mont Blanc, which is the highest mountain in Western Europe, which which is 4,810 meters. And recently I did Mount Kilimanjaro, which is highest peak in Africa.
Which one's the hardest of those?
Every mountain is hard, but nothing is easy. But we try to get fun ourselves and enjoy our life.
Which one is the most fun for you?
I think Kilimanjaro was quite fun because we had quite lots of big support group, and food was nice, and the weather was a bit warm. So the bottom part was warmer. So apart from last 2 days was cold, but the rest was warm. So I think Kilimanjaro was better.
Yeah, I understand that you have your whole team supporting you and climbing with you as well, and this project that you're about to undertake, it's not an easy project. What is the one thing that you're struggling with right now and that you need help with?
So the hardest thing for me is, I found that fundraising is actually harder than climbing the mountain, because I never done it in my life before, and I found that it's very, very hard. But the great thing is so many people are supporting for this cause. So I really, really appreciate that, who are all supporting, and I hope the people who are not supporting will also come to join and support, and will make this happen, and make proud everyone that we are associated, whether they are Gurkhas or whether they are Nepalese, or whether the armies or veterans or United Kingdom or whoever it is, or Nepal, whatever we call it, will make everyone proud.
Cool. And so you're climbing that mountain, Mt Everest, so that expedition. So is the current coronavirus pandemic, is it affecting it? Is there any possibility of being cancelled or postponed?
So unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. Before coronavirus, we were banned, and we have to fight through to the Supreme Court, and we were able to overturn the rules. Now we have got a coronavirus, and Nepal and China has both closed down the route, so we can't go and climb it.
So you can't climb Mount Everest this April?
No, unfortunately, not this year, and we are going to climb next year, so 2021, and we have to be everything ready, and but by the time I'll get more prepared, and make it successful.
Maybe your crowdfunding would have reached your goal as well by then.
Yes, hopefully crowdfunding and some other funding, other sponsorship. So sponsors will come and move forward and make it a history, and achieve that something that never achieved before in the world.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That this project that you're about to undertake, it's not an easy task. Climbing Mount Everest is not easy, and climbing Mount Everest without your legs is way, way harder. I think it's 10 times harder, and there are a lot of risks involved. Are you prepared for the risks that are involved?
Yes, lots of people. So I have got a box of book about Everest, and I have watched lots of videos and films about Everest before actually I wanted to do, everything is risk in the life. Even walking down the pavement is a risk. It's driving a car is a risk. So if you take the risk, and you're not able to do anything. So, just do what you love to do, and you'll make a difference. Simply that. That's what I believe. And also, let's say if something happens, it happens. And let's say if I die for doing that, if I can make a difference, then happy for die as well. I was prepared to die for the United Kingdom, and I'm prepared to die for the disability around the world.
That's really amazing. The way you think, not many people think like that, and I love the fact that you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for, the entire, people who are physically disabled, and you're kind of inspiring them and their loved ones and their families as well. So yeah, really good.
Yeah, this is not for me. Let's say I'm not doing simply. It's not for myself. If I'm doing it for myself, I could do so many things here. So mainly it's about the disability. So, I have, I have given up some of the things that what I'm doing. I have given up some other dreams for that. So I left my business, leaving my families here, some other commitments to just focus on this. And this is only I can do when I'm young, and when I get old, then I couldn't able to do it. So this is the time to do it, and if I can't do it now, then it wouldn't be possible later in these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, the first thing is about making disability awareness. My life was changed like that. So anybody's life could be changed. Even last year's status in the UK, 927 people were killed from road traffic accident only.
Oh wow!
So let's think about other causes. How many do you think they got injured? So life could be changed very soon, very quickly. But whatever happens, life it still moves on. Whatever happens, clock doesn't stop ticking. So make sure that we enjoy life. We live our life in a full and make a difference instead of just everybody can survive, right? Everybody can survive. But I think for me, it's about making a difference and living a life. I think that's what important for me.
That's an amazing intention, I think. Let's go for a quick fire question where this is where I'll say a word or a phrase, and you just whatever comes to your mind, just say it out.
Okay.
Quickly. Don't think too much. Ready? Army life. It's
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Love for you is anything that comes to your mind. Don't think too much.
Trust.
Good. Disability.
Ability.
Money.
It's not coming anything. I think money is just something help you to achieve your dreams.
Okay, it's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. Yeah, yes, I was trying.
Courage. Courage.
Yeah, tool. Yeah.
Yeah. What about courage?
It's most important thing.
Passion.
Will make you work hard.
Death.
Is inevitable.
Yeah. Your favorite book, if you have any?
Oh, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Whoa, I love that. Adventure.
Is a life.
Favorite sport.
Football.
Impact. What does that mean for you?
Making difference.
Success.
Is hard work.
Failure.
Is learning.
One thing about you that we don't know, none of us know.
I don't know.
One funny thing about you.
Smiling all the time.
Okay, good. What is the most important lesson that you've learned throughout all your experience? And what would you say that one lesson that you want to share with us?
Life is all about adaptation, and mindset is very powerful.
Love that advice. So imagine you're saying something to a young person, like young generation. You're giving advice, and they're going through some struggles in their life, and they want to overcome that, and follow their passion, dream, whatever. What would you say to them?
Try everything and find your passion, and you'll achieve whatever you want in your life.
What about if there's someone who's like physically unable or disabled, and they're kind of struggling and they've lost hope, and they don't see their future being bright, for them? What would you say to them?
just whatever happening, just distract that, and do something. Do something that it distracts that whatever you are going through. Then just keep going. That's just temporary thing. One day you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's good. You are an inspiration to so many people, and I'm sure you've got someone that inspires you. Is there anyone that inspires you? You maybe a role model, a mentor figure, or anyone?
For me, it's my family who inspires me, because everything I'm doing for is for my family as well.
And what are you most grateful for right now?
Just being alive.
I like that. I like the answer. And let's say you're already making an impact in the community and in so many people's life. What is the biggest impact that you want to make in the world?
One day I want to make the whole world accessible for everyone.
Wow. Yeah. What about your 10-year vision? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
I would be possibly still campaigning for the disability around the world.
Right. Last but not least, how can people get in touch with you? Maybe they listen to this interview and they're like inspired and they want to keep it get in touch with you and communicate with you. How can they do that?
So just Google it, Hari Budha Magar, and or any social medias. But also they can contact me through the Concurring Dreams.
Wow. Any last words before we conclude our long but very in-depth and inspiring interview?
No, it's just simply keep doing whatever you're doing, and whether happiness or whether whatever tough thing that you're going through, it's just temporary. One day it will go away, and just keep doing what you love to do, and just find what you love to do. Simply is that. Then once you do that, then you will make a difference. You don't have to work for making a difference, but just do love what you love to do, and one day you will be where you want to be, and you can make a difference. I think making a difference for me is very important, and just enjoy your life and live in full. You might not know what happens tomorrow.
Perfect. What a great way to end our interview. Thank you, Haridai. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on our show, and thank you for inviting all of us to your lovely home. I think people could learn a lot from this interview, and how to be courageous and hardworking, and how focusing one thing at a time, things like that you talked about, is very, very powerful. So thanks again, and I hope to sit down with you again, maybe after you've done your Everest summit, and you're like, and we can talk about your experience then.
Thank you so much for coming here, and allowing me to share my experience, and whatever happens in life, it moves on. Let's do whatever we need to do.
Well, thank you very much. And guys, follow Hari Budha Magar on social media, Facebook, Instagram, conqueringdreams.com, right? For your way. And also you can donate him or his crowdfunding. You got all the links on your social media as well.
Yeah. So
do that. Support Haridai and his expedition, his project. That it's not just about him. It's all about the world, I guess.
Yeah. This is the. At the end, it's about disability around the world. So when you're looking at the population, it is about 1 billion disabled people lives in this world, with 7.6 million in whole population, which is massive, and we can make it so much difference. Not just about disability, but we can inspire other people that what things can be achieved as long as we have the right mindset.
Support this man's project, and let's make a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Take care.